Editor, and this is the Beginner's Guide to Rainbow Six Siege, Episode 3. In this episode, we're going to go into a game of Terrace Hunt, and I'm going to explain some the finer basic details to Rainbow Six. In the previous episodes, we covered the menus, allowing guys to find their way through the different play options, going into their operators and changing their loadouts, and going into settings, matchmaking preferences, and the sensitivity and video setup, and changing it to whatever they need. Okay, so I'm going to go into Terrace Hunt here. So like I said, situations are kind of maybe the most basic thing. So if you're just starting the game and you want to figure out what to do, even before you go into casual, I'd recommend playing through all these 3 stars, just recognizing that I completed these objectives, secondary objectives if you will, other than just beating the level. I would go through and try to get all those. It's a good way to practice your skills, and it's a good way to get used to the game. I'm not going to play through those. They're very straightforward. Like I said, they're kind of like a playthrough tutorial. What I'm going to get into is Terrace Hunt. So like I said before, I use Terrace Hunt a lot to warm up. Sometimes you have to refresh the menu just like that because things aren't showing up. Like I mentioned before, Ubisoft, the Uplay servers have been kind of off lately. So I normally play on realistic. I'm going to play on normal just so I can kind of walk through everything. So this is a randomly selected map based on my matchmaking preferences, like I showed you in the previous video. So when you get into a menu, you see the timer counting down, how much time you had. I've already talked about how you don't have too much to change your operator loadout. Now I'm going to pick my spawn location. They each have at least 3. Some have 4. Some maps have 4. I'm just going to spawn on the right barricade here, and I'm going to go with Thatcher, who is kind of a good starting point. Here shows my loadout, and if you go over it, it shows down here what it's attached.
Eliminate the terrorists.
Okay, so we've entered a level here. Just to go over to this black vehicle, so I can kind of show you more clearly all the parts of the HUD. So again, in that bottom left corner is the frames per second, the delay, and the version. In the top, in the middle, you can see the 8 sideways, the infinity symbol for that's where the time will be counting down in the round. There's no time limit. And to the left of that is the outline in blue, is the purple with the power button icon is the Thatcher symbol. It's important to get used to everybody's symbols, because to the left of that would be the remainder of my team. You can see who's left alive or who's dead by a quick glance without having to look around and see team's outline or their name. So you can see if Habana is still alive, for example, and then call over for a hard breach. And then to the right of the infinity symbol, it says 22 enemies remaining. That's just in Terrace Hunt. In casual or ranked play, it'll show the icons of the other players on the enemy team. They'll start as question marks. Sorry, excuse me. They'll start as question marks, and then as they're marked by drones, they'll show up. The icons will be shown. It's very important to look there because you can see, maybe you see one of your friends, your teammates tag Frost, for example, or Valkyrie. So now you know that to keep an eye out for Frost maps when you're droning or when you're entering through windows or into rooms, because if you go into them and trigger them, they'll take you down into the down but not out mode. And then Valkyrie is a good one to know because maybe the enemy will have a lot more sight lines, especially outside the building, and maybe doing runouts. I can't explain every operator right now, but I'm going to just continue going through the HUD. So now on the bottom, you can see the center, there's a set of icons. So the far left one that says 100, that's your health. So there's an outline circle. That circle becomes less filled as your health goes down, and the number will drop as you become more hurt. You'll notice that throughout the video as I take some fire. To the right of that is the little 3 icon and a faded out kind of rectangular looking thing is showing my secondary gadget. Above it, it has the shortcut, the 4 button on the mouse. That's my breaching charge. So if I press that, my breaching charge comes out. And like I said, I have it in advanced mode, so now I just press it and hold it, and now it's out. And if I press it again, it goes away. It goes back to my weapon. Next to that is the Google Map looking icon with the Z key showing its hotkey. So that's what it looks like. Tag whatever point you're aiming at. So I can tag, for instance, this police car and say that on the other side of that car is an enemy. Or someone say where are they coming from, and I can tag that far wall and be like that's where the enemy's coming from. It's a very good useful tool to talk to your your allies. You can say, oh yeah, inside this window is a frost map, those kinds of things, or there's a guy crouched. Extremely useful. You'll find many uses for it. Okay, so the next one is outlined in kind of gray. It looks like a film, a video camera symbol. I can't use it right now because there are no tools, so you can press it and view your allies' drones or cameras on defense. But I can't do it right now because there's none out. So if I press 3, I deploy a drone, and that immediately brings me into this interface where I can control my drone. It's the same controls for movement. X, showing down at the bottom, it has the shortcuts, is to scan. So if I would have an enemy here, I would scan and tag them. 3 takes me back to my person from the first person view, and the space bar is for jump. So if you jump wherever you're aiming, so if I aim straight out level, I kind of jump forward. If I aim straight up, I jump straight up, barely moving. So if you kind of want to jump on a ledge, you can kind of aim at like a 45-degree angle or a bit higher, and jump high with a bit of an arc. You can see I hopped up onto this, and I can drive up onto this. So it's important for getting your drone in certain places. Like say for instance, I'm trying to get up on top of this vehicle. There I jump onto the HUD. Now I'm going to aim up, jump onto the hood. Now I'm going to aim a bit more straight out. And my drone's destroyed because it went outside the map area. Okay, and so I have 2 drones, so I'll throw another one. See it there. So you're going to go on your drone, and then to get off, to go back to your work, you press 3. And if you want to go pick it up, which is very handy, not an often used tool, you can now, when I move around the map and go to find somewhere else and aim out to enter where I don't really know what's in there, I can deploy it again. So that was hold F to pick it up. That's the interact button. It'll immediately deploy you. Every time you deploy a drone, it'll immediately put you into the observation tool. So if I just look down at it, I get close to it, hold F, the interact button, to pick it up. Okay, the next thing is probably not very much used. I don't use it, is the fire rate select. You can see it has a B above it. So if I press B, this weapon has either semi-automatic fire, which is what the 1 bolt means. It means every time I pull the trigger, it'll fire 1 round. Or automatic is the one with 4 rounds. If the weapon has a burst fire option, it'll come up with 3 rounds. Okay, and to the right of that, the last hotkey is for your operator's gadget. So there it has the same symbol as Thatcher. Not all of them are the exact same symbol as the operator symbol, but most of them are. So then it has the 3 beside it, just like anything else. It shows how many I have remaining. So when I press that mouse button, middle mouse button, which is tagged for me, it'll deploy my operator's gadget. So I'll press that now. It throws my EMP grenade. Thatcher's EMP grenade doesn't do any damage to anyone, but it destroys any electronics in range, making him an extremely important support operator to kind of shut down the enemy's defenses when you're entering a room, or if you're trying to enter through a wall. Okay, so that's enough over some of these basics for the items. I would definitely recommend taking your time and getting used to all the tools in the bottom of the hotkey. Next, very important thing to the right of the Thatcher symbol there, the Thatcher tool, the EMP grenade operator gadget, is the compass. So you can see right now the little white arrow above the N shows I'm pointing to the north, roughly north. So if I turn right, you can see it starts to aim northeast, and then there's east. We turn all the way over here, it's west. So you can see whenever you look at the map in the loading screen, north is always up and south is always the bottom. What is the use of this? Well, when you're in a room and you want to say, you know, the enemy's coming from the door, but there's 4 doors in a room, you can say the east door. Maybe you have a friend right with you and you don't need to, or you don't have time to tag something, but you can tell them they're coming from the east, or they're coming from the west, or coming from the south. Or someone's in the northeast corner of the room. So when someone enters a room and you say they're on the northwest side, so I'm entering it, now I know they're on the northwest, which is to the left for me. If you say, oh, the enemy's to the left, if your friend is standing over here, that's not his left is over here. So it's important, the compass is very useful for giving out call-outs, giving guys directions of kind of the enemy advance. So when enemies spawn in casual, they do all spawn together. So if they all spawned on this map here, you could tell if you're watching from bank, you would say they all spawned in the southeast corner of the map at the right barricade. That's kind of the area they're advancing, or they're on the east windows, etc. Giving some call-outs to your friend. information is very important in Rainbow Six Siege. So now to the right of that compass it says Riot Barricade. So that's the area of the map that I'm in. Usually it will say EXT, which means exterior, saying it's on the outside of the map. But Riot Barricade is this area of the map. So when you slowly will learn the map as you move around. You see now it says exterior parking. I'll sprint until it changes. And now you have east front yard. So this is how you can learn the map as you go through it. This is the east front yard, and then you can use those callouts for these areas in the map for your teammates and help them find the enemy. And the final thing on the HUD to the right by the butt of the weapon is where it says the weapon type. It has the ammo in the mag in white, and then grayed out is total ammo. So if I switch weapons, it shows the P226 MK25 with 16 rounds in the mag and 120 rounds remaining. So as I fire, it drops down to 0, performs a reload, and now I have 15. If I reload again, I'll put another in the chamber and go up to 16. Okay, I think that's enough for the HUD, and now we'll move into playing. So WAC, AD. Sorry, I'm kind of tutorial teaching mode here. But yeah, so moving around left and right, leaning is very important. I'll talk about that in a second. When you fire without looking down scope, obviously if I fire, I aim in, I'll try to shoot this little dot in the middle of this river. See my spread using a little bit of burst fire is pretty small, but if I just spray, you can see it's wildly inaccurate. It is important sometimes though to use that when you come around up close, because aiming like this with a zoomed in scope isn't that great sometimes. And just coming around the corner and firing when you're up close, like if the enemy is this far away this wall, that's all you need. You don't need to zoom in. So I can hear some sound. A important part of Rainbow Six Siege is listening to sound. You can hear what's called a suicide bomber. I'll explain that when he comes out here. But this was a wooden barricade. If you headshot somebody, they die instantly. Oh, I gotta pay more attention here. Okay, so this was a suicide bomber, so they're only in Terrace Hunt. You can see they have C4 on them, so they're very tough. They take a lot of damage. I believe they take 2 headshots, maybe 3. They will take a lot of body shots if you hit them, and they will shoot it back at you, but they will also close distance with you. Get close, they'll raise their hand in the air, and they will try to detonate and kill you. Okay. Just to clear out a little bit of area here. So I'm peeking to the right because I'm going to enter and open to this door. If I was going to enter the door, I would peek this way. This will only stick out my head and my weapon. Whereas if I don't do that, I have to move half my body out into the door frame. So I can see my leg, my left shoulder. I'll have a video on peeking in a bit, some of the intricacies of Siege. I'm just going to continue to play through here and talk. So you can see there, he just ran at me, he shoot me, and then his light turns orange, and he's trying to run and kill me. Here we have Concertina wires. This is one of the Defender's gadgets. You won't see this much in real match in casual or ranked. Defenders can only carry 2. Not all defenders have it as an option. If you hit it twice, it destroys it. And the next set of them will show you how slow it makes you go. So my secondary gadget is breaching charges. So here I'm going to aim down at this hatch. You'll slowly learn what hatches look like in soft walls. I'm going to detonate this hatch. So I'm going to click to deploy. Sorry, I'm just to explain and play. We have random guys interrupting you. So I just destroyed a hatch. You can destroy some of this floor, but you can't go through. I'll show that to you later on in the video. I'm just kind of going through the map, clearing it out. That's a defender's deployable shield with a vault over top of it to get by it, but it gives you protection if you're crouched. Terrorists do deploy some of these gadgets. They don't have every defender's gadget. They do deploy these in these maps. Like I said, you won't see as much concertina wire and some of these other things. Defenders, you can only carry 2, and not every defender has the option to carry barbed wire. So, Thatcher, EMP can destroy all these kinds of things. Clear out some of these enemies so I can do some more teaching here. Okay. So here is a reinforced wall. So this wall beside it is exactly the same. You can shoot through it. You can see it's the same texture. But this wall, I can shoot and destroy the wall part of it, but you can see the metal still on that side. You can't shoot through it. These every defender has 2 of these reinforced panels. There's kind of like this, the full-size one, and then there's a smaller size one, depending on kind of the map layout and what size the walls are. Those are C4 charges that I've been destroying. The defender, as a defender gadget, they're a remote control detonated explosive, stronger than a grenade, can destroy walls, put holes in walls, put holes in floors, kill people through holes, kill people through walls and floors. In Terrorist Hunt, they are just a proximity detonated device. So if you walk near it, it'll start to beep louder and then it'll detonate. So you see before I destroyed a bunch of them with Thatcher on the stairwell. Okay, so here's concertina wire. So here's me walking normally, here's me sprinting, and then you'll see me hit the barbed wire. Slow down. I believe it's right now it's 45%, and it's going to go up to 50% slow. So it's very useful for slowing guys down as they go through hallways, or when they come through a doorway and they're trying to shoot people. It slows them down, makes them easier to target, and it also slows down kind of like the rush meta. It's like guys rushing into your objective. So this is another very important, two very important parts of Rainbow Six Siege on the map are stairs and soft walls to the outside. So in bomb and secure area, this is a objective. This room is an objective. So as I'm about to show you, this exterior wall is hot. There's my breaching charge. That's roughly how big a hole it'll put in the wall every time. This wall is actually to the outside, so you can spawn outside. You guys can destroy this wall, and then you can shoot right into the objective. This gives you a huge advantage to attackers. So what do defenders do? Defenders will reinforce these walls to stop you from getting in, just like these walls over here that I showed you. You can't shoot through. You can't use these breaching charges on. I'll show you quickly. So if the garage was reinforced, you can see you can't even place it. And even if you could, it wouldn't destroy the wall. So that's something important to keep in mind is these kind of soft walls. Now most walls on the outside are not, they're all hard. A lot of them are, these old walls are hard. There's only a few spots on some maps where you have a soft wall to the outside where the defenders are going to have to reinforce it to keep you out. And then even if, say the objective is on the far side of the map, they probably won't reinforce this, so this is a really good entry point for you. So you don't have to go through a doorway. You can breach open these kinds of soft walls to get into a map easier. I'm just running around. I'm going to go over to this side, to this doorwell, to these stairs. So now important part of stairs, you can't play stairs like Call of Duty, because a lot of guys are going to be watching a lot of angles. So if I run up the stairs like this, there's so many places where I gonna get shot. What you need to do when you traverse stairs is you need to be watching for where an enemy would sit. So you're coming around here, you're like, I'm gonna go up the stairs. You're gonna clear out kind of this landing, but then you also need to be looking up here. Whether you're gonna scope it or not, you're gonna be looking up, constantly looking up to where someone can shoot you from. Because if I come up to these stairs, kind of a good example there. If you come up straight up these stairs, then turn, that guy sitting in that back corner is gonna have time to shoot you. If you come up looking like this, you'll see him right away, because you don't need to look here anymore. You don't need to come up and look. It's already clear by your peripheral. You just need to slowly clear up the lines. Check this door. Keep going up. Check up here. And as your maps, you'll kind of know where to look. Again, now I've come up to a landing. Now I have lots of places to look. Clear up here. Got to make sure this guy, there's no one sitting right there. But a guy could always pop out. Just because you look at it doesn't mean it's completely safe. And you also have this hallway. That's why you need attackers can use drones to clear their way out, and defenders have cameras to help them clear. You always have your teammates. This is kind of a hodgepodge of defense. Some concertina wire, some reinforced walls. Keep making my way up top. See, I'm going to keep clearing. And there's a very difficult spot to kind of defend yourself, because you need to kind of clear up here. Then you need to kind of clear above you, because someone could very easily be could be looking down here, right? It's a great place to catch a guy crouched sitting down here. And then another way to also clear the stairwells you could have as an attacker, have a friend, a buddy, look through that skylight. So if I wasn't right now, if I didn't want to step through this hallway, there's a lot of destructible areas in the map, and you have to use your creativity, your tactical options to kind of move through the map. Here's a ammo point. So these aren't in casual or ranked, but I'm going to use it to refill my primary weapons and my gadget, my secondary gadget. So now I have another breaching charge to use. I can fill up again. I'm going to fill up again. So the enemies, they're all going to push me. See, now they're no longer hiding in the map. They're coming out to me. There's a successful terrorist hunt mission. So I hope you don't find my gameplay too painful, but it's just kind of hard to talk through it. I'm trying to just cover the basics of the game. Here it has the lone wolf success. This shows the winning team. I'm the only player right now, and I'm the MVP. This is the MVP was sent in the middle of the team. Otherwise, you'd have the other 4 members to the left and right here. Okay, so now you have the match scoreboard. There's no real scoreboard for Terrorist Hunt, just shows my kills. When I click back on it, it shows my score, my kills, the unit I was in. The mission was successful. If I go to bonus, it shows my renown gain. Here's my clearance level and the total XP I have to the next level. And here's the additional XP I earned as my score. I have my 36 renown and bonus event plus 18, which is a bonus event going on right now on Ubisoft. Okay, so here I have the settings. Again, similar menu. And then I have vote for retry, which means I'll play on that exact same map, the same game type, and then find another match would just find another terrorist hunt mission, or I can exit. So I'm going to exit right now. Okay, so I hope that kind of goes through the basics of terrorist hunt, just some of the basics of playing, kind of like a walkthrough. I'm going to go through some of them. Slowly go through some of the more advanced parts of Rainbow Six Siege, or the things that are unique to Rainbow Six Siege that are not in a lot of FPSs. So I hope you enjoyed that, and until next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the video and share it with others. You can become a subscriber to receive more content like this. And please comment below with any questions or suggestions for future videos. Thank you.